The saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. Think about that for a moment. You have been walking through life with your eyes closed, blinded by the comfort of trust and the hollow promise of loyalty. You gave away your peace of mind and your money to people you believed had your best interests at heart, only to find that human relationships are never on face value. You feel underestimated and powerless today because you were taught to play fair in a world that rewards strategy, manipulation, and strength above all. While you were seeking empathy and connection, the elite were studying the hidden forces that shape human identity and control. They understand that the mind is not kind, it is strategic. They know that survival and dominance require understanding brutal reality. If you feel out of step with yourself, it is because you are still an emotional reactor in a game of strategic operators. Reacting is just surrender in disguise. Every time you over-explain yourself to prove you are not a threat, you are leaking power. You were raised to believe that being good is enough, but in an unfair world, being dangerously smart is the only way to survive. Power does not come from cruelty. It comes from clarity. It comes from seeing the world exactly as it is, not as you wish. For centuries, leaders and power players have studied the dark psychology of Machiavelli to master the art of thinking with intention. This is not a typical self-help guide. It is a masterclass in strategic dominance. You are here because your innocence was betrayed, and you are tired of being the pawn. It is time to flip the script and put the power back in your hands today. The lessons you are about to receive are not designed to comfort you. They are designed to wake you up right now. They will cut through your illusions and force you to recognize a new set of rules. From this moment on, you make a choice. You can remain a victim of your own emotions, or you can choose to be strategically intelligent and become untouchable. Calculated opacity is your first line of defense in a world of predators. Most people are addicted to the cheap thrill of validation, leaking their plans and their progress to anyone who will listen. This is a fatal strategic error. When you reveal the full picture, you invite interference and sabotage. You give your enemies a map of exactly where to strike. Machiavelli understood that true power is found in the unknown. You must keep the information you hold as a guarded asset and never explain the why behind your decisions. If people do not know what you are doing, they cannot calculate a way to stop you. When you over-explain, you are essentially handing your competition the playbook for your own destruction. Silence is not a lack of action. It is a form of psychological mastery. You must decide that you do not owe anyone access to your mind or your motivations. From this moment on, let your actions be visible, but keep your true reasons buried in the shadows. This is how you remain unpredictable. This is how you stay dangerous. Authenticity is a trap designed for the weak. The idea that you must always be your true self is a lie created to keep you predictable and easy to manage. Instead, you must master the adaptive persona. You must tailor your personality to everyone you meet, becoming exactly what the situation requires to achieve your goal. Think of your personality as a suit of armor that you can change at will, not a fixed identity that keeps you stuck. By adapting your face, your tone, and your energy to match the person across from you, you bypass their psychological defenses. You become a mirror for what they want to see or what they need to hear. This allows you to gain deep access to their trust, while your true intentions remain untouched and unobserved. Listen for the subtle clues in their conversation, their hidden fears, and their unvoiced needs. When you give them exactly what they are looking for, they will open doors for you that they would otherwise keep locked. You are not being fake. You are being strategic. You are becoming the key that fits their lock. The greatest weapon any betrayer has against you is your own emotion. Emotional reactivity is a sign of surrender in disguise. When you react with anger, hurt, or desperation, you are handing over the keys to your internal kingdom. You must adopt the principle of detachment. This means reaching a state of mind where what you are not afraid to lose cannot be used to control you. Betrayal only hurts because you allowed yourself to be anchored to a person or a specific expectation of loyalty. Strategic operators anchor themselves only to the mission. You must be prepared to walk away from any relationship or partnership without a single moment of hesitation if it no longer serves your path. Mastering this level of cold clarity turns you into a fortress that cannot be breached. When people realize they have no emotional leverage over you, they will stop trying to play with your mind. You become the absolute master of your destiny and a slave to no one. Power is often mistaken for noise, but true dominance is found in the stillness. People think that to lead, they must shout and demand attention. But real power lives in silent leverage. This is the art of creating influence and control without saying a single word. Instead of begging for respect or recognition, you make yourself indispensable to the survival of those around you. You become the person who gets things done, while everyone else is busy talking about how things should be. When you hold the keys to a solution that others desperately need, authority is surrendered to you. Focus your energy on building a skill set that is unique, vital, and impossible to replicate. Let your results speak with a volume and a weight that fury could never achieve. When you provide stability in a room full of chaos, your silence becomes your most potent and feared weapon. If you want to understand how to control the narrative, you must first learn to echo the people around you. The psychological echo is a tool for deep intelligence gathering and influence. Most people are so desperate to be heard and validated that they will reveal their entire psychological blueprint if you simply stop talking. Use this to your advantage. Listen for the clues about their deepest fears, their most pressing insecurities, and their unmet needs. Become a mirror for their world and their perspective. When you reflect their own thoughts back to them, they experience a false sense of deep connection and safety. They will begin to believe that you are the only one who truly understands them. That is precisely when they become vulnerable to your direction. Information is the ultimate currency in any power dynamic. Those who observe instead of speak are the ones who always win the next round. Every word they say is another piece of leverage you can use when the time is right to strike. The concept of a fixed morality is a cage built by those who want to control you. If your enemies know you will always act according to predictable moral rules, they can plan your destruction with ease. To be dangerously smart, you must embrace ambiguous morality. This means you are neither strictly good nor strictly bad. You act according to the strategy of the moment. Machiavelli taught that in the game of survival and dominance, it is much better to be feared than loved. Love is a fragile bond that can be broken by the smallest inconvenience or change in fortune. Fear is a constant pressure that keeps people focused and in line. When you position yourself beyond the reach of conventional judgment, you become unpredictable. Unpredictability is your greatest shield. If they do not know what you are truly capable of, they will hesitate to move against you. We live in an age of digital exhibitionism, where everyone is a victim of their own need to be noticed. People post their lives and their struggles for the world to see. But this is a strategic suicide. Controlled exposure is about managing your image with extreme, cold precision. You must never reveal everything about yourself, especially not your true resources or your next moves. Keep your most valuable assets and your deepest thoughts in reserve, away from the eyes of the public. When you curate exactly what the world sees, you control the perception of your power. Let them believe you are one thing, while you are secretly becoming something far more formidable. This creates a gap between reality and perception, and in that gap is where your real power lives. The less information people have about you, the less they can use to build a case against you. Mystery is not just a personality trait. It is a high-level defensive strategy. Winning is the only morality that matters in the end results. Outcome obsession is the hallmark of a true Machiavellian strategist. You must focus entirely on what you want to achieve overall, rather than being concerned with looking good or being right. This applies to every area of your life, from your business dealings to your most personal relationships. If you have to look weak to win the long game, then you must embrace that weakness. If you have to play the villain in someone else's story to achieve your objective, then accept the role without guilt. Stop the world you're familiar when you stop giving away your energy and simply vanish from the board, you trigger a deep psychological shift. Stillness can shake people more than anger ever will. They will begin to question their own standing. This silence unsettles the confident, confuses the manipulative, and reveals the true nature of everyone in your circle. Use your absence to remind everyone that your presence is a privilege they must earn, not a right they can assume. When trust is broken, the game shifts into a new and more dangerous phase. The mirror trap is your ultimate response to those who have betrayed you. Do not seek revenge through loud displays of emotion or desperate attempts to get even. Instead, reflect the betrayer's behavior back to them with surgical, cold precision. If they are cold, you be colder. If they are deceptive, you show them exactly what it looks like to be handled by a master. By mirroring their own toxicity, you force them to deal with the person they have actually become. This is not about sinking to their level. It is about holding up a mirror to their own destruction so they are consumed by it. Those who observe instead of forgive are the ones who stay in absolute control of the board. Betrayal teaches faster than loyalty ever could, and once the mask is off, the game is finally yours to win. Integrating these lessons into your life is not merely a task of memorization. It is an entire psychological redesign of your mind. You are undergoing a masterclass in Machiavellian psychology that shifts your position from a person who follows to a leader. Being smart in the traditional sense is no longer enough to win in a world that rewards strategy, manipulation, and strength. You must become dangerously smart so that others fear your mind as much as they might respect your power. This requires you to strip away the comforts of your old self and adopt a mirror that reflects only the brutal truth. You must stop seeing the world through the distorted lens of your wishes and start accepting the reality of human nature. Most people go through life playing checkers, but you are finally learning the rules of chess. This shift from being an emotional reactor to becoming a strategic operator is what provides you with armor for your mind. You are learning to rewire your thought patterns for clarity, overcoming the cognitive biases that made you vulnerable to betrayal. However, you must be prepared for the price of this power. Machiavelli does not teach you how to be comfortable. Progress in this new mindset is often quiet and invisible to the crowd, but it is always happening beneath the surface. You may find that it is indeed lonely at the top, yet it is in that isolation where the relentless quietly build empires. Dark intelligence is about having the ruthless intelligence to protect your energy and refuse to be naive in an unfair world. If these lessons cause you discomfort, it is only because they are cutting through the illusions you used to hide from truths. This is your path to personal transformation and the art of thinking with intention. You stand at a crossroads where the path you choose will define the rest of your existence. You can return to the world of illusions as a victim, or you can step into the role of the master player. This world does not reward your intentions. It rewards those who see the moves before they even happen. Remember that while others are out there screaming for attention, the relentless are quietly building their empires in the shadows. Silence and patience are now your most lethal weapons. When you stop giving away your energy, you take back your power. Stillness can shake people more than anger ever will, and power speaks even in your stillness. The people who hurt you expected you to crumble, but instead, you are rising with a mind of stone and a heart of strategy. You are no longer just a person with knowledge, you are a person with clarity. Everything you have experienced, every scar and every betrayal, was a lesson preparing you for this rebirth. You are now equipped with the armor of dark intelligence. It is time to let go of the version of you that was easily manipulated. True intelligence is not about knowing more. It is about seeing through the illusions that keep others trapped. You are the architect of your own reality and the master of your own destiny. Consistency compounds. From this day forward, Let your silence be your strength, and your results be your legacy. Make the ultimate commitment to your new self right now. Say it until it is etched into your soul. I choose to be strategically intelligent, not emotionally reactive.